Hello students and welcome to my channel Maths Hub. So today in this series of talks I will be telling you about some magic with maths, right? So this is the first lecture on magic with maths. So let us learn some fractions. Now whenever you appear for some competitive exams, you might have seen that we get some fractions like this, right? So the original technique is that we start from the bottommost fraction, we take the LCM and we continue with that LCM process and finally we get the answer, right? But then how to magically get the answer? Let us see. So for this, what we are supposed to do, let's look at the last fraction. We have 1 by 7, right? So what will I do? I'll write here 1 and I'll write here 7, right? After that, just count how many times you have plus 1, right? You can see there is a plus 1 over here, there is a plus 1 over here, and there is a plus 1 over here. That means there are 3 times plus 1. So just put 3 dashes over here, 1, 2 and 3, right? And now what you will be doing, since all the fractions have a plus sign, so we will just successively add these numbers. So we will start from the back. 7 plus 1, we will get 8 over here. Then 8 plus 7, we will get 15. Then 15 plus 8 will be 23, right? So keep on adding them. And once we get the last number over here, how to write the fraction? The fraction would be 15, the second last number divided by the last number. So we get the answer as 15 by 20, right? It's very simple. So you can see just in a minute, you can get the answer, though you were learning this method, right? So when you are in a process of doing these type of fractions, in just a second, you will be able to get the answer, right? So let us try to solve another example of this type. Let's look at this fraction, right? So we will be dealing with different types of fractions. So this is the first type of fraction that I'm telling you today. So again, look at the last fraction. So it is 3 upon 5. So let us write 3 comma 5 over here. And now let's see how many times 1 is written over here. So we have a 1 here, we have a 1 here, and we have a 1 over here, right? So let us put 3 dashes over here. And now let us try to add the successive terms. 5 plus 3 is 8. Then 8 plus 5 is 8 and 5 is how much? 13. And then we add 13 and 8 and that comes out to be 21, right? So what is your answer? Your answer becomes 13 divided by 21. So the second last number divided by the last number, right? So this becomes your done. Okay, so I hope you have understood the method. So let us see another question. Okay, so now what is the next problem? Instead of plus, you can see we have a minus sign over here. So the process remains same, just a little modification is there. Let us see where is that modification. So we start from the last fraction. So we will write here 2 and 5. And let us see how many times this 1 is written over here. So we have a 1 over here, we have a 1 over here, and we have a 1 over here. And all the signs are minus. So we will write here 3 dashes. So in the earlier problems, we were adding, right? Now we will be subtracting. Now how the subtraction will be done? It will be from the second term minus the first term. So 5 minus 2, 3. Then 3 minus 5. So when I do 3 minus 5, I'll get minus 2. So you need to take care of the signs. So we get minus 2. Now again we subtract minus 2 and minus 3. So we will get minus 5. So we get the term minus 5. So what is your fraction? So your fraction will be, the answer will be minus 2 divided by minus 5. So when I write minus 2 divided by minus 5, the minus sign goes off and your answer is 2 by 5, right? So I hope you understood. So whenever you have plus sign, you will be adding the terms. Whenever you have minus signs, you will be subtracting, right? Okay. Let us look at the next question. So now the next question is something different. So now you can see that in all the previous questions, we had 1 over here. Now we have some other numbers. So how to deal with these questions? So first of all, the process remains same. We will start with the last fraction. We will write here 1 and we will write here 5, right? Now instead of 1, we have 4 and then we have 3. That means there are two spaces. So we will write here two blank spaces, right? Now what is to be done? Earlier, when there was 1 written, so we were simply adding the terms, right? Now, since it is 4 and 3, so above this 5, we are going to write a factor 4 here. And above the second last blank, we will write here 3. That means we will start writing from the last term. We will write all the terms in the opposite direction. We'll start like this, right? So we'll write here 4 and 3. Now, what is to be done? Just multiply them. 5 into 4 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. So you will add them. 20 plus 1, 21 you will write over here. Right? Now 21 multiplied by 3 is 63. And then what will you do? You will add 63 and the previous term. The previous term was 5. So 63 plus 5 is equal to 68. Right? And then what is your answer? It's the same thing. You will divide 21 divided by, right? So in the previous question also, it was happening the same way. Why? Suppose I have the same fraction and instead of 3, I have 1 over here. And instead of 4, I have 1 over here. So how will I do it? I'll write 1 and 5 and then what will I do? I'll put two blank spaces and I will be successively adding the terms. I'll get the answer as 6 by 11. So basically what is happening, if I write here 1 and 1, so when you multiply 5 into 1, you'll get 5 and you add it to 1, you'll get 6. Then 6 into 1 is 6, 6 plus 5 is 11, right? So the basic thing is remaining the same. So whatever the multiples are, if it is 3 and 4, we will write here in the backward direction, we'll write 4 and 3 and we will simply make the multiples and add it to the previous term. And then we will write out the coefficient, right? Okay. Let us understand one more problem on this. Yeah. So now the problem is 1 upon 5 plus 1 upon 3 plus 2 by 4. So let's start with the last fraction, that is 2 comma 4. We have two spaces. So we will write here two blank spaces, right? Let's write the multiple over here. So the first multiple is 3, so that will go above 4, and the next multiple is 5, so that will go above the second last blank, right? So 4 into 3 is 12. 12 plus 2 added to the previous term, you'll get 14, right? So we'll write here 14. Now multiply 14 into 5. 14 into 5 is 70 and 70 plus 4 will become 74. So we'll write here 70, right? Now, so what is your answer? Your answer is 14 divided by 74. You can perhaps reduce it. So two sevens are 7, two sevens are 14, and then we will get here 3 sevens are 24. So your answer is 7 by 30, right? Okay. So now let's move on to the next problem. So the next problem is, now this is little different. Till now you can see that this part was not there, isn't it? You just had this fraction, isn't it? So this is the new problem. So how to deal with this? We'll carry with the same process, but little difference would be there. How to do it? So first of all, we'll start with the last fractional term, that is 4 comma 5, and now count how many places 1 we are having. We have a 1 here, we have a 1 here, and we have a 1 here too. So that means there are 3 spaces, right? So now since all the numbers are 1, you don't have to put any multiples over here. So we'll simply add the terms. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 9 is 23. Now, if the fraction is only this much, right? Your answer would be 14 divided by 23. Now, since I have 1 plus this term, so what will you do? you will simply revert this term and you will write your answer as 23 divided by 4. Right? As simple as that. So you just have to take care that if the fraction is only this part, this much, it will be the second last term divided by the last term, as we did the earlier problems. But whenever it is 1 plus this fraction, you will just revert that answer and your answer would be 23 by, right? Okay. And now let's move on to another problem. And now the next problem is, so I think you will be now in a position to solve this problem. So we'll start with the last term, that is 2 comma 5, and let us see how many spaces we have, 1, 2 and 3. So we put 3 blank spaces over here. And now since there are multiples over here, 3, 1 and 2, so let us write the multiples starting from here, 3, 1 and 2. Now let us multiply and add. 5 into 3, 15, 15 plus 2, 17. 17 into 1 is 17, 17 plus 5 is 22. 22 into 2 is 44, 44 plus 17, that comes out to be 61, right? So your answer would be 22 divided by 61. So can you think in just less than a minute, right? In 30 seconds, you are able to do such fraction, right? So I hope you have understood the questions and the first series of this Magic with Maths, right? So this is a exercise. Do this problem and let me know what is the answer, right? Do let me know in the comment sections. I'm leaving this question as a practice question for you. Do let me know that what is the answer to this problem, right? So thank you so much and have a nice day. And if you like the video, do hit the like button. And those of you who have not subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel to get the latest updated video. And do share the videos with those who are, practicing for their competitive exams. Do share it and believe in yourself and you will definitely succeed. Thank you so much.